Marriage counseling. Online marriage counseling. From the hood. Brought to you by yours truly. Figure with the arguments, the couple that I could hear in the distance arguing, it makes me think of this. Let's say for 5 seconds. I'm gonna stop drawing. Oh my goodness, it is so hot. I can't handle it. Oh my god, oh my god. Okay. 5 seconds of that. What could I have done with those 5 seconds? Focus more on this. Sketched a tiny bit more. Those are 5 seconds lost that I could have. Trying to think where to put the rest. Those are 5 seconds I could have put into the drawing, some way, somehow. And think of it, that's only 5 seconds, right? No biggie. But how many of us are so sick in the fucking head to get into relationships like that couple? I've seen them argue a lot. And no doubt that I am not without my flaws. I do lose my temper. I get angry, I get upset, I get disappointed. But I think compared to a lot of people that I see in action, I think a lot less. Now why would I waste time with someone like that? A relationship with someone like that? A day, an hour? Trying to translate my experiences into words. Because many women and I still think of the delicious asses and titties that I had to walk away from that attempted to lure me into the trap of argument, of the chase. And in my head, I thought, there's not much shit to do in life. But arguing, what's wrong with the relationship? What's wrong with you to be doing that? Again, those 5 seconds wasted. When you're in a bad relationship, you could waste a day, a week, months, years, possibly in some cases even a lifetime of marriage with someone simply because you didn't want to be alone. You didn't want to hurt their feelings. What if I can't do any better? I was getting old. They got baby rabies. It was time to settle down. She was my high school sweetheart. She was my first. He was my first. And as I flash back now to just different sort of arguments, different sort of evil, evil parents, evil mothers, evil fathers, careless motherfuckers. Shit. And I think of the casualties that I've been through. All those so-called men and strong women that said, "Oh, I don't need no man. I can do it without him. I don't need her. I can do it without her." And eventually folding to the terrorist demands, the other party's demands, into becoming something, or trying to fit a square toy, a square object into a circular hole by force. I think I should draw that all the way there. And me, as a single dude, one could say, who the hell are you to criticize? You know, whose advice would you take? Some dude who burned his hand on the stove, or a dude that handled a stove 1,000 times and burned his hand once, or a dude that has used the stove 10,000 times and hasn't burned his hand once on it? It's a weird analogy. But I do like to reflect before I make a choice like that. One of the greatest lessons of life that I've had was greatest lesson that came from me. Good question was, do you love yourself? That's the one that it made me think. It made me answer it. The answer is yes, I love myself. But why does it feel that I don't believe that I am not doing that? Because what does it mean to love yourself? Because you could love somebody else, and what do you want for them? You want the best this for that, the best shoes for them, the best outfit for them, the best gift for them, the most high-tech thing, the latest high-tech thing for them. And you bend over backwards through overtime while you're not home enough, and you push yourself further than you would than for anybody else. And at times when pushing for those outer limits, I believe one lets a relationship deteriorate instead of being whom you are, increasing your human capital, reaping the rewards of that human capital, and sharing them with anyone who happens to be with you at that moment. And at times it sounds like I'm the lone gunman, the wacko speaking, because I'm the dude that's gotten away. I'm the dude that still pursues happiness, still demands more out of a relationship. Acknowledges the possibility of an amazing partner, but won't lose hope and turn impatient and just grab onto anything that has a pulse and a vagina and say, oh, well, look, I got it, I win. No. And I think of some of the relationships that I had to walk away from because I knew that they would become toxic. They would become a burden. They would become limiting. And I think, oh my God, man, I gotta walk away from this. One chick, just because she was gorgeous, I was thinking, you know what, that's not all of life, you know. I don't give a fuck if you're making $450,000 a year and you hate it. No, I do care if you're making that much and you hate it. Versus if you're someone who's making $20,000 a year and you love it. I'll take the $20,000 one. And people have called my bluff. People know that I will do that. Because everything else, I think, check out the lifestyle of being a minimalist. Food, shelter, water. Living honorably. See how much fewer headaches you'll get by pursuing a path like that. And me, I realize, hey man, how much shit I gotta do? I gotta do this, that, and this, and that. But I see some people just again tap out, man. Say, no, we're gonna make this work out. How comfortable, how loving, how happy, how excited do you think I would be if I attempted to fix a marriage with someone who, let's say, only likes modern art in the sculpture form and hates cartoons, hates color drawings, hates working with paper, hates comic books, and is only in love and believes that George Clooney. And extremely left wing. And she has some big ass tits. Big, delicious, round, juicy tits. I probably would want to save the relationship because of the tits, but knowing that I don't like certain sort of things in my life, ideologies, weak thinking, toxic thinking, out of touch thinking. No, man, I've got to cut that shit off. And I've cut more than one person off that we saw things, in which we saw things differently. Remember, there's almost 7 billion, there's around 7 billion people on this planet. And if you're into women, that's half the population. If you're into men, you're into half the population. If you're into both of them and trannies, shit, you got 7 billion people on the buffet menu.